All right, so in the last 3 sections of the course, basically what we were doing was redistributing the tonal balance of the song. So we were taking care of problem frequencies, making sure that the dynamics are in check and that nothing is deviating too much from any of the other elements, and just making sure that everything is balanced and working together nicely. Now what I want to do is actually group the last 3 plugins that we used together, and actually I'm going to group the whole thing, all of these together, and we're going to get to the other plugins later in the course. But for now, what we've used were the QuickTech, the linear phase EQ, and the linear phase multiband compressor. Now, one very important thing that we have to do is compare what we've done before and after, and we need to volume match to make sure that we're not tricking ourselves into thinking that things sound better. So let us do that, and we're going to have the spectrum analyzer up, and we can use it to compare the volumes before and after. So what I want to do is set this detect here to RMS. And then this readout here in the middle is going to read out the RMS. So I'm going to compare this before and after all the processing that we did. And then I'm just going to use the output gain on the last plugin, so the linear phase multiband compressor. I'm going to use the output on that to volume match. Okay, so let's take a listen. Look at the RMS readout before, so with all the processing on, and then I'm going to turn all the processing off, and we're going to check the readout again, and then use the difference to set the output volume on the last linear phase multiband compressor plugin. Okay, so we are about 1.5 dB louder with all the processing on. So I'm going to turn the output here down by 1.5 dB. And let's compare again. Okay, and we are now pretty much at the same volume, and with much more balance, a lot cleaner, a lot heavier in the bottom end. The next part, which is one of my favorites, and this is one of my favorite Waves plugins of all time, and we're going to use it to do just glue compression. So give some character, give some movement, some dynamics to the song, glue things together, and we're going to do it using the Kramer Pi compressor. Again, one of my favorite compressors. It's got so much attitude, it's crazy. So when you first put the plugin on, it's the output gain is on about +4, so just make sure it's on 0. I also want to turn the analog off. I don't want any noise coming out of this plugin. The meter is set to gain reduction. Decay time is the release time pretty much, and then you have a compression ratio. There's no attack setting on this, so which makes, it makes life easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set the threshold until I just hear the elements coming together, and you're going to hear the punch of the kick drum come through a little bit more. You're going to hear some pumping in the song, and you're going to hear the elements start meshing with each other just a little bit. And I don't want to use this on the chorus section because I actually want to hear the attitude of this plugin, and I want to hear it mainly on the kick and the bass, and just the piano as well. So let's go to a very rhythmic section in the song.
You've been waiting for this time to spend
Okay, so a quicker decay time gives you more pumping, more attitude. A slower decay time is more transparent and more subtle. I do want some pumping to come out of this compressor, so I'm going to set the decay time to the quickest. Now, I'm going to keep the compression ratio to 3. I like where that is, just a little bit aggressive, but not too aggressive. And then we're going to turn the makeup gain up to make up for the volume lost with the compression. So I think we're doing about 3 dB maximum of gain reduction. So you can hear how much attitude and how much punch this little plugin adds. We're only doing even less than 3 dB of gain reduction, and it sounds amazing. I love this plugin. All right, so again, let's compare before and after with this plugin on and off. So right now it's on, and I'm going to turn it off, and you can compare and listen. Right? So immediately the energy of the entire track just goes up. It's a lot more energetic, a lot more bouncy. It has a lot more character, more punch. The bottom end comes through a little bit better. And again, awesome plugin. I really suggest you use it for the purposes of gluing the elements together and adding some character to your tracks.